Okay, this is our second episode of Order in Chaos. So today it will just be a casual conversation between myself and Brendan, where we just talk about
The life.
the life and what we do at QHAOS Studios and what we're trying to build at QHAOS Labs. So I think we'll start with how we came to discover our skill sets and how we came to realize that we can use our skill sets to help us earn money.
It's more about like how we came to our current point, right? Actually, I met Ken at a drinking place. Right, we were working there actually. Right, so I met him at Tel Aviv. Both of us were sort of interning there. Like, I was just working part time. So then after that, we were actually consumers in a sense, right? Where we were working for somebody else. But then things changed, and then we realized that we didn't want to put our fate in other people's hands. And then through certain experiences, I realized that Ken has for writing. Like he's very particular. He has a way of writing that connects well with people. Right, so that's why I realized that I can cover the writing part. And then for me, is I always wanted to be an architect when I was younger, but then I realized I couldn't fight with the others who had like stack ass portfolio, like those poly kids. And like, yeah, so I realized that desire for creative has never died. When I had a second chance when I took a master's in marketing, I realized that actually creative doesn't have to be physical structure, man. And then that's when I entered this field. And then we've coupled with Ken's writing, and that's why we felt that this was a viable venture for us to explore. How do you realize you were good in writing?
It was actually since I was young, like in primary school. I was never the study type, but the only subject that I was good at was actually English. All the way from primary school to secondary school to polytechnic and even university. I more or less flunked all my other subjects, but English was my only consistent subject.
So you don't read anything, ah?
Basically only English, yeah. And I think it was because I read a lot when I was young. Yeah, so I think to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader first. You got to know how to manipulate the minds of the readers such that ultimately writing is just words on a page or words like on a website or what. But then how the words will create images in the reader's minds, and then what kind of images, what kind of emotions you want to evoke. That is the art of writing that makes it special.
So like, I mean, you say that your writing skill is not like inborn lah. It's like it's talent plus like environment lah.
Sort of, yeah. I would say that. Yeah, it's always been more effortless. Like studying for other subjects took me a lot of effort. And even in our first venture, I started out in another, I was supposed to do sales, right? But I wasn't good at it. And it was during COVID that we discovered, after writing for our former associate, that was when we realized that my writing could actually be monetized. So that was how I got my writing into branding.
Like when you realize that you want to turn this into an actual business, like what's the hard part?
For me, the hard part was finding clients because I wasn't outgoing person. So reaching out to people, that was a hard part for me. Some people, easy for them to find clients and reach out to people to ask them what they want, find out their needs. But for me, I would say I'm better at the fulfillment side of things. I'm not good at going out to find clients. So that was the part where our associate was helping me. Yeah, so he was the one who was finding the clients, and I was the one who was doing the fulfillment. Yeah, that was how the entire picture of the previous venture played out.
Okay, so then when was it real? I mean, we worked together for a reason, like you but must have realized that there were some roadblocks, I guess, right there. People are not looking for like a single solution now. And also another thing is clients are not looking for the process. They don't give a shit, right? They only care about like what's the result.
The cost and the result.
Yeah. Even the clients we have, right? Let's say in designing, they don't really care about the thought process or like how well it's done, as long as it's done well. Like I always have this theory like minimal excellence.
Yeah.
Right. So minimal excellence, this theory that I've been sharing with Ken a lot is that there is like between 75 to 100, right? No one cares how much you got between that. Even if you got 75, even if you got 100, right? It's still an A. So the thing is with clients, you must apply this concept where they only see the part where they get the A. They don't see like whether it's a 75 out of 100 or 100 out of full mark, right? I mean, a full score. Yeah. But the thing is, for us is we are looking for minimal excellence, and there are people out there that don't even fulfill the minimal. Minimal meaning that recently we have been doing a lot of interviews. We have been finding hiring new marketing associates, and I got a lot of resumes
That were full of fluff.
yeah, that is not even real. Like if you check their university, the university doesn't even exist. That's one thing, right? The portfolio is just words on image, and they call it a design. I'm sure like many of you can just design it on Canva and do a better job. Trust me, like it's that bad.
It's like having a lot of crayon drawings and saying you're an artist.
Yeah, yeah. There is a difference between knowing how to use a software like barely and being good in a software. So there's one thing that I always tell my team, which is that I rather you are proficient in Canva than to be a noob in Illustrator. Yeah, just because you know how like okay, where's the brush button, where's the circle button, all that kind of thing, right? Doesn't mean that you're good in a software, but you will realize that a lot of people will just put it as a skills in their resume.
Yeah.
But when you ask them to show, okay, so what's your portfolio, right? Dude, some of their portfolio are even like fake. It's not even their own work. So I think that's the part that really gets to me. And that's the kind of platform that we are looking to build where it's like 真材实料. Like it's not all these fluffy fake I won't say freelancers are the problem. It's not a freelancer problem, it's a person's problem. When someone is trying to like get a job, and then I understand the need to pad your what do you call it?
Inflate it.
Yeah, inflating your resume, but that's not the kind of direction that QHAOS is about. I'm not sure if you guys have taken a look at our video so far. You realize that I'm a very straightforward person. Because to me, it's like how I select my team is how I'm gonna present my team to our clients. Right, and my clients know me as someone right that 他们没有拿到100至少有拿到90. To translate right is that it will still be an A, even if there are times where like okay maybe it's not exactly what they wanted, but it will still be a good work. Right, so my motto is always about doing good work, and that's the kind of thing that we want for the people that eventually because we are trying to create this community called labs, so like QHAOS Labs right, it's like a sandbox where we try and connect with creatives from every field.
Creatives with clients.
Yeah. So it's not just like graphic designers. It's more of like we are trying to build a community where creatives, right, can just focus on what they are excellent in. But of course, there is some collaboration involved. Let's say if you have clients that want to do certain work, and then we connect them with the right style, right, of creatives. So that's what we are trying to do here is to connect the right clients, say if they are in a particular industry, and then we have a portfolio of people in each niche, and then we introduce the people in that niche to our clients. I think that makes a more perfect relationship because as of the current, right, like there is no such differentiation on freelancer platforms. We talk about Upwork, Fiverr.
Yep.
So a lot of them, yeah, they do show their portfolio, but then okay, firstly, is the portfolio truly theirs? That's one thing that we are unable to verify. Secondly, is time zone issue. I mean, that's not a big problem, but it's still a problem nonetheless. Number three is their style might just not be suitable for the client, right? Because certain clients, let's say they are maximalism, they want to fill up every single space, as with client that we are very familiar with.
Yep.
There's two theories, right? There's one theory, let's say even we talk about color theory, right? There's one theory where I think I mentioned it in the previous time where you follow what's in that particular industry because it's commonly associated. There's another thinking where it's like you choose a totally different color that your competitors have not taken up, right? So there are type of people that they are that way, right? They want to do things that people have not done before. But there are some designers that know, like, okay, so my principle is that I stick to what has been proven to work. Let's say F&B and red, finance and blue. So I think it's best to match the right type of designers to the right type of clients. So it's like previously, of course, everyone started out as freelancing. So like what we faced was you spend a lot of time resolving the conflict. Like you have to explain yourself to the client or why this writing style is the best, why this way of arranging the elements based on design principles. And to the client, right, sometimes they just want to be right. They don't give a shit about.
Sometimes they don't even know what they want.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, that's the kind of situation that we know is 100% unavoidable, but we are trying to mitigate this for the people so that they can focus on producing good work.
So what we're trying to envision with QHAOS Labs is that we are trying to help both creators as well as the clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to add value to both of them at the same time. For creators, we can help them to find, we can help to develop them also, right? We're trying to,
Yeah.
yeah. How
And we
to
also take away all the shitty parts lah, the
fulfillment back end
numbers,
numbers or numbers.
numbers,
Oh my god.
e-com landing site code.
Yeah, all of that. That's another difference between being a creator and also being a
Agency.
business owner agency.
yeah.
Yeah, because as a creator, you are just trying to focus on creating and doing your art. Basically, you're trying to hone your skill. But as you develop it and you monetize it, then another factor comes in where you have to go through the whole process of all the stuff that you don't want to do. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take away all that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, like as Ken explained, it's one thing we faced as well. Like, it's not whether you okay. So like, actually, like sales or hiring someone can take that away from you, right? But the thing is, you must know who to find to begin with. That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
And what, let's say if you use a SaaS software, lah, like you must know the terms, lah, right? Accounts payable, what's your sales cycle, what's your customer lifetime value, all these terms that are things that you need to know, lah, right, when you're running your own business. And second thing is the part on answering you will realize that a lot of time is wasted on actually like replying to the clients. A lot of time is wasted on communication, which is necessary, but it's not what you as a business owner should be doing, right? Then of course, when as a business owner, it's inevitable that you will need to do some form of sales in another way. I mean, in one form or another, right? But your kind of sales is more of forming long-term partnerships, not one-off transactions. One-off transactions is something that you should be building systems so that your team can help you solve those one-off transactions. For example, right, you need to create content, right? Let's say you're a content creator already. You need to create content where people are coming to a particular page and DMing you for collabs, right? Or brand deals, for
Yeah.
example, right? Then, but you shouldn't be the one that is replying the people on your DMs. Because if you're replying them, like if you're flooded, let's say if you have 100,000 following and just 0.1% of people actually DMs you, right? That's how many?
This
That's
is
100
1,000.
people.
Is that
0.1%, bro.
I'm not a numbers guy.
Point proven, right? So that's 100 people DMing you like at once. So like, are you gonna spend your time replying them? And most content creators I know like have other side hustles as well.
Yep.
Right? It's not just making a living off content creation. Because if you are that big, you would have crossed the 100K mark, right? And if you are crossing the 100K mark, can you imagine that numbers goes up exponentially?
Yeah.
So I think those are the parts that you need to outsource the fulfillment. Either you outsource to someone, a company that you can trust, or that you know and you have been working long term, and they are able to integrate all the different processes because they are handling every single part of the. I mean, that's what I presume lah. I'm not privy to their insider operations, but I presume that they are helping
coordinating.
yeah
everything.
the let's say if client inquiries, say speaking deals, right, like sponsorships, all those is by the agency, right, handled by the agency, and the creator just need to focus on doing what they do best.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's, it's not that we are trying to be an agency in that sense, because the ones I know, like they just give me like their entire portfolio. Okay, so then after that they say like, okay, this person's specialize in beauty, in jewelry, in luxury, for example. But that's not the, I understand that's their public image, but the way of presentation, right, doesn't work for creative field. You get what I mean? Because creative field is more of like their persona on stage, I mean on social media and all that stuff, but more on the way that they interact with the client, and also how their thinking is made visual. Correct. Then how has it been for you so far, like working in this field, or do you want to go back to being a bar host?
So far, it has been okay in the sense where I get to do work that is aligned with my passion and I get to get paid for it. Not a lot of people can say that. And then, so what I'm trying to do now is just to see how I can take it to the next level.
I think it's like, what other platforms do you, because you must understand that writing is writing, right? That's the process, right? But the output in terms of what can writing do, right? It could be like SEO articles, it could be press release, it could be books, it could be any other form. That as long as there is words on a canvas or on a medium, right? I think that's where your talent can translate to, rather than just focusing on 我只是写书的 but it's not 我是写的 you know, it's not really the medium is not the doesn't matter lah, because content creation used to be what? Give an example, we used to be like 歌台, right? Now it's then it went to Facebook,
Yeah.
then it went to TikTok.
Live streaming.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, Wang Lei is the best example.
Yeah.
Right. So the medium is not the final point. It's not the most important thing. But what you want to do, right, as a for all of us, right, is not to be at the mercy of the platform. Right? Because if you're at the mercy of the platform, you risk, right, one day just being irrelevant because of how the algo works.
Because the platform goes down, you go down with it.
Yeah.
And we want to avoid that. So, but your skill remains your skill. That's something that nothing can ever take away from you. So creators have to realize that they have to keep building on their skill, and because when you have that, then whatever the medium changes into, it doesn't affect you as much because you can bring that skill and you can translate it a lot into what that medium demands of you. Yeah. So
我从小
the same, right, for design.
Design is more of like the all designers will know this pain where we are at the mercy of Adobe, right? Because that's still the golden standard, right? Of in terms of the file format. If you have ever tried to bid for government projects, right, you realize that Illustrator file is required by the government. So other than the software itself, I think that for designers is like you must understand design trends always shift. We don't even talk about graphic designers in that sense. We talk about interior designers. Right, in the past it was the bohemian, where it was the trend, right?
Yeah.
Nature, like Mandai Reservoir style of design, right? Then it moved to what? Wabi Sabi, moved to Japanese design, right? Currently, this is the trend, lah. But you don't know what's the next trend in terms of interior design, mah. Right? So I think that no matter what craft you are in, you must always be up to date of what's the current way of design. You don't have to change your own style, but you must know what's in demand at the moment, right? Rather than just changing your own stuff. That's pretty much it to what we are trying to do here. And you must understand that, like, for those who are looking, that this was built from our own personal experience, and the only reason why we will make sure that it goes well, right, is because our own work where we want to do the best, right, but we always meet clients that just want it fast, they want it cheap, right? And if you are getting such clients, right, do not start to doubt yourself whether your work is good or not, but start to get better clients. Because if the client was genuinely appreciative or like aware of like how hard it was for you to master your craft, right, they wouldn't be saying that 这样容易啊，没有啦, right? So if they actually saw the thought process behind it, just like how when they always say like if you put a piece of art in front of someone who is ignorant of art, they will just evaluate the cost of the canvas and the paint, ma. But if you put it in front of someone who really appreciates it, the value to them is different, ma. So treat yourself like a piece of art and not just some color paints and canvas. I think that's one thing that we want to drive across today. That's pretty much it for this introduction, right? Then Ken has a GoFundMe to share about like for his OnlyFans.